Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be looking at one of the sweatiest lobbies in Call of Duty history, where the average KD of the lobby, you know, when you look it up on COD Tracker, is a 3.74, and this was a World Series of Warzone match. We're going to be spectating Game 3 of SuperEvan, Repulse, and Lucky Chamu. And the reason why we're focusing on SuperEvan is because he had the highest kills in the entire match, with the highest KD of over 5 within those 6 matches that they played. So we're going to go ahead and kind of react to the gameplay, kind of give a little bit of insight of how this format differs and what it looks like when top level players are pitted against each other in a very competitive lobby compared to the normal ones you maybe queue up. Even if it was like a 1.3, this is dialed up to a 3.75. So insane. If you enjoy the video, learn something new, please do me a favor, hit the like button. If you're brand new, want to find your way back, double check, make sure you are subscribed with notifications on. We will be leaving a link to SuperEvan's socials down in the description. If you want to check out his YouTube, I know he posts over there on regular, and then obviously he streams regularly on Twitch, which I'll have links in the description for both of those. Obviously a top tier player, been relatively good for a very long time, and he was just able to show off all of his skills within today's tournament, which we watched live over on my Twitch. We watched all the games, and very impressive what you're able to do in these types of lobbies, which are very unforgiving. Lucky Chamu gets it down here. The floor loot's kind of perfect for this type of scenario because there's not so many bad weapons, but there are a lot of good, decent options. Needs a little bit of plates. He's going to pop a UAV right away instead of going for a UAV, because in this particular instance, you might be able to take out a high-skill team right off the bat, just because there's impossible almost for anyone to have gotten ghosts this quick, and they're just going to feel like they're good with their guns. You can see that the recon's there, so obviously they know that somebody's popping that. They should be able to get these guys as they cross over and pick up a few easy kills. Obviously with this LMG that got nerfed, it's still very strong. They went and wiped an entire team there instantly, and a lot of that had to do with the UAV. So even though they're still behind on the cash, they need the loadout. The scoring on this format was, if you made it out of the top 15, you got 1 point per every kill. If you made it into the top 15, you got 1.5 points per kill. And then if you made it into the first place spot and ended up winning a match, which these guys ended up winning a match and they got a couple second places, you would end up getting 2 points per kill. So it kind of incentivized a little bit more kills, but placement was definitely a priority, especially getting into that top 15. First place obviously was incredibly hard to get, but it's kind of one of those things. When you're playing with the top players in the world, you have people like It's Iron, where they play for wins, OP Mark, Devious, a lot of those win leaderboard grinders. But then you also have all those kill slayers like Frozen, which we've covered. You have Tommy, Noobs, Almond, Huskers, and so on. Basically, the who's who of Warzone was essentially in this tournament of basically pitting the highest skilled players against each other in a lobby where they basically have to go up against each other. So very interesting to watch. I know early on in Warzone's life cycle, these weren't as popular, but I think all the issues with like hackers and people thinking VPNs and cheaters and all that stuff, it kind of tainted a lot of the regular kill race stuff, and removed a lot of the high skill element from those, even though a lot of that was based off RNG. So it is what it is. They are sitting on around 8 grand here, so they need a couple grand to get the loadout. You can see that they do have a dead silence that's there. Obviously, dead silence is everywhere in the game. I know Raven has talked about them potentially nerfing that, so hopefully we see that in the near future. And obviously they have a decent spot here, but they're going to have to rotate pretty hard without a loadout. They got about 3.5 minutes before the free loadout drops. They decided to put all their money together. They do have enough, and there's a buy down low. They just have to be really quick with it, because if anyone is crossing from hospital, well, maybe hospital's not in. No, maybe they're crossing all the way across. If people are coming from park or wherever, they're going to have some issues running into these people. So you hear he popped the loadout. And there's a lot of important things with this. Obviously, when it comes to a lobby with this high KD, everyone in the lobby knows how to shoot. So you're not really like worried about your gun skill. It really comes down to positioning, situational awareness, how you make a decisions or judgment calls within the moment, have lasting impacts on the match. If you die when you go to the gulag, you're going against people that win 90% of the time. So it's more of a 50-50 if you're going to win the gulag. So they're popping a red door. Here it is. Very risky to do. but it ends up throwing them to a completely different spot. They do get some good loot here. Got a golden gas mask. Got an advanced. Not bad. He's popping it right away. He's going to come out. Ends up getting metaphor there. They get the kill trade. Very risky. And you can see the one is coming up the stairs. You can see the pattern up the stairs. And it looks like another guy is coming up top. And they're running. Look at how many people. It's still 115. These lobbies lasted a long time because everyone plays very passive. So team shooting's the case. You need the trade outs because it's very costly to buy back people. Obviously, if somebody dies here, they do not have enough money. Lucky Chamu, he already has a self-revive, so that's huge if they challenge people at range. Repulse needs to go ahead and trade this kill out so that they don't die there. And it looks like he's able to get self. He's going to jump down from the bottom. And here's the trade out. Enough to probably save him there. And then he needs to win this because if he downs, they all go to the gulag. The guy might have crawled down low. They threw a stun. He's resetting the gunfight. And then he ends up getting a good kill here on Royal Eyes. But he's expecting another teammate to challenge. There's a guy down low. You saw him really quick. They're going to hear the self-revive or the revive of the teammate. He might try and go for it. Very risky. If they stun in this room, you're basically dead. Repulse is already in the gulag. He's got to win this. They already have 4 kills. He gets thirsted immediately. Scumpy comes in and gets Scumpy there. That is Optic Scump. And then we also have a double kill off here of a MVS. I believe that's a NFL player. So it's pretty good. He was able to survive that. He still keeps his gulag. Repulse lost his gulag. We didn't see the feed to who. And then he's ended up taking this guy out. MP5 is putting in work. And there are so many teams here. Obviously, we saw with the advanced. Nobody had Ghost in that moment. If they did, they would have showed up as a dot instead of the triangle. He's able to clean up, basically get out of here, hopefully. Waiting on Lucky Chamu to get the gulag. Win or loss, and then he also has to get the money together. Unfortunately, with everyone trying to loot there, if they barely got their loadouts, they're going to be short on cash. So now you got to be worrying about rotation. That door was godly in allowing them to get into a hotspot. Unfortunately, they lost a lot of lives there, but he came up with 7 kills. Keeping in mind that the most kills in one of these lobbies on average was about like 8 to 9 kills, and maybe there was like one person that had like 12. He ends up going beyond that. This is his high kill game. I don't want to spoil the amount in case you guys didn't watch it, but it is phenomenal to put up a game like that. So it's no wonder these guys are able to drop 30 or 40 kills in regular matchmaking without any kind of funky matchmaking, reverse boosting, VPNing. If they're dropping 15, 20 on the practice lobbies when Biffle did it, he did 22 against pro players, it's like, come on, man. Like, obviously they can do that in a regular lobby when the average is only like a 1, a 1.2. It's just broken how talented these players can be. And I've been watching SuperEvan for quite a while now. Just kind of seeing his growth as a content creator, as a streamer, getting more name recognition because he's always been talented. Always been talented. It's just a matter of getting more eyeballs on you. Performing well when the eyes are on you is huge, especially in a scenario like this. Lucky Chamu was able to get it together. They're going to go ahead and loot a little bit, get a little bit more cash. And they got to be very cautious. Normally, when you see these guys play, a lot of times they split off because they're very comfortable handling, 1v2s, 1v3s, even sometimes 1v4s if the positioning's right. But in this particular case, they're going to basically be holding hands. You can see the team rotating on the left behind them in a Bertha and an SUV. Could be 2 teams separated, like as far as pushing side by side, or it could be the same team. You don't really know. Looks like somebody jumped out to try and chase that. He got Stukawaki, which is also another very talented player. As we're going to see in the feed, he's killing all kinds of good players that you probably have heard of. So he's going back to go make the revive play. Repulse will be able to land on his loot. There's satchels everywhere, gas mask everywhere. So it's huge. They're going to be looking for it. Anyone on the map that knows you're at the buy station, they know that you're down a player, they know they're going to be coming back aggressively from the sky. They're probably going to give away your position when you land. You can see Repulse is landing there because that's where the loot is. He knows it's a little bit safer, but there's always the risk reward. When you land there, you could get shot out of the air and force full team to be aggro, especially if they're fully upgraded. On top of that, if they happen to call a UAV, can end up in another situation. So they're going to end up beaming this, and you can see the Farah is 100% the meta after the MG nerf. They jumped out to swap vehicles. Kind of a little bit of bad timing there. He was able to get it easy down. And almost everyone was exclusively using the Farah in this, with the exception of some of the people that would normally run a sniper. They were running snipers. So he's on the little thing. He's just waiting for him to run out. He doesn't really have to run out. And he ends up getting shot from behind. Works out really well. He ends up with 9 kills. So very big deal here. He's going to be able to grab Ghost because they already have the other loadout. They all have their guns, so they'll probably grab Ghost as well. The only other strategy is to grab Restock, that's pretty much it. Everyone's going to kill you so fast, even if you had high alert on, you're going to get beamed by the time. It's just that quick. That's what a lot of times separates these top players. One is centering, their crosshair placement, but on top of that, their reaction times are so fast, superior to the standard average or quote-unquote average. It's a huge differentiator. You just don't have enough time to react when you're already getting beamed, especially if somebody's super accurate. So it looks like they're pushing him. There's 2, full team pushing him aggressively. Hopefully they don't have stuns. They walked right past.
Push you.
He's waiting to give away his position. Easy comes out. He's got to watch out. The guy on the left is going to be right behind him. Nope, he got pushed. He marked him. The live ping is good. He's throwing a nade. Jumping out. They double team this. Picnic, a very good player. There's one more, I think it was. The guy might have taken off. He could have probably got a couple shots in earlier, but he practiced that trigger discipline, which I think some people struggle with. So he's going to be in this car.
I think 2, but I thought it was the whole team. They were all just clustered.
I don't think that guy had plates.
Another car.
Beamed him.
Team shooting it, disabled the vehicle. Downed, easy peasy. That's why rotating in vehicles in this meta is so hard. Just because these guns fire so fast. You team shoot, super easy. But like I said, new meta with the Farah, the MG just, it was good before, not quite as good as before after that nerf. So definitely the Farah is the way. People are like, well, people are sleeping on this gun. No. These people are playing for $300,000 on the line in at play. They're going to be using the best options available. And like I said previously, when I built my class setup, I said it was the Farah, MP5, a build like that, or some people are using the XM4. There's a lot of great options for the secondary. The number one option is the Farah for the primary. And then there's a lot of secondary options that, like, not secondary options, but primary options that are also good. AMAX still pretty good. MG still decent. We also have the Krig, the C58. A lot of good options, but the best, premium, easy to use, does decent damage, like good TCK, is the Farah. So it's coming up on some more cash. They're going to have enough money to buy back Lucky. You can see the lobby. There's still 28 teams left and 75 players. Already up to 11 kills, which by far the most kills in the lobby at this point. Buy stations become incredibly sketch. He's going to go ahead and buy him back. Got to be careful because you always give away your position. Luckily the loot is still all there. He'll be able to land there. Get all the loot. He'll be pretty much good to go. And also what I really like personally about competitive Warzone, in this sense, where it still could be dialed in a little bit. It's not perfectly competitive, but the thing I like about it is you get to see the top players actually give comms, ping stuff. They actually play very coordinated, very smart, and they play strategically, which a lot of times when they're playing pubs, it's still pubs. Even with skill-based matchmaking, it's still pubs. Just obviously some teams are a little bit harder than others to go up against, but in general, pubs, the average player is just at that average. So he was able to spot some people. We've talked about this before. Top players will use the camera angle, 3-peak with the vehicle, and that gives you way too much information. Which that's kind of how vehicles are designed, but it gives you a lot of information.
Grenade, watch out. It's under the hill. They're down the hill.
But you can hear the comms. Normally they won't be this active. You can see the guy right behind them. There's a full team. He's going to go ahead and beam him. The other guy's sniping. He didn't call out the sniper.
We can go back if you guys want. Okay, come on. Come on, let's go back.
And then see, Repulse is giving them the calm down. He said, we don't need to push that. Even though I think they had really good positioning, as long as they didn't get sniped, they would have been fine. They could have even probably closed the distance with the vehicle, especially since they did some damage. It only looked like there was 2 of them. I didn't see 3. A 2v3 could have been really solid, but then they might have gotten third-partied. That's where you have to be very careful about your positioning in these things, because third-partying is so quick. You get shot once, and then all of a sudden, boom, somebody's shooting you from behind. 0 chance to react.
That berth is still full, by the way.
Mine is,
So that's pretty good. They didn't get any damage done to the Bertha. The SUV, they have their damage on that. They are short on money here, so that's generally the case with these types of lobbies. You end up short on money because normally you're not able to do contracts. The people you're killing aren't able to do contracts. So that combination is you end up just with money that is leftovers. 200 here, 300 here, 500 here. Not enough. So they're peeking, obviously doing a little bit of more movement to trying to find out. Weapon swapping, which is a pretty common habit of players, even though it's not necessarily the best habit.
That's actually really good comms. They're coming towards us.
So you can see the Bertha on the hill.
They're going up the hill, it looks like. I think they're just going up the hill.
And they're just sitting up there.
Actually, no, it's too deep. It's on blue.
Yeah, it's deep.
So he's also got to kind of pay attention that their Bertha doesn't get stolen because of how valuable and strong Berthas can be.
They're going. They're still chilling there, actually, but I mean, they're just like hovering.
They're waiting for zone, I think. You're amazing at this game, Ev. Me too.
Let's fucking go. You guys are fucking
They're gassing each other up. That's always cool too when you're in these types of things, because obviously Lucky's been killed a couple times. Repulse died once. It could be easy to get down on yourself, especially like when you're not used to getting like killed that much in a match, because normally when you play average players, no biggie, but now you're playing with lots of eyeballs on you, everyone focused, everyone talented, and you don't know how good somebody is, but everyone in the lobby is generally pretty good. So more than likely every engagement you're gonna have to fight tooth and nail. You're gonna be losing plates. You're gonna have to reset the gunfight multiple times, and it's hard to be as efficient with the gunfight because the other players are also able to get out of gunfights and reset the gunfight over and over and over.
Like, we just don't want to do that.
Yeah. So either we take this fight or we rotate.
Okay, that Bertha just left. That Bertha just fucking left.
Moving.
I still see them. This side now, boys. This side now. They're on buy now. We can go cop. They're not there anymore.
So he's gonna go ahead and relocate the vehicle. He already remembers cops not safe.
Let's go right. Let's go by the buy. Let's go by the buy. Oh, they just got out there. Fuck. Yellow ping. All right, let's do it. Go.
So with this, there's not really an in-game leader, but it seems like there's kind of like a community debate figuring it out. It looks like Repulse has made a lot of the in-game decisions, but that's sometimes what's missing in these. Is it's great to have an in-game leader and team players. Like you can see, Evan hasn't really argued or debated with him. He just basically said, let's move to yellow. All right, cool. Well, I'm down with that. Cool. And if everyone jumps on the decision, then everyone's in it, and you know, nobody gets blamed for anything. Everyone agrees, hey, this is the decision, and they don't delay in making those decisions. So it looks like a car's pushing up pretty aggressively. It looks like he was able to get some shots in there. Somebody's shooting them. They got out. They're pushing.
I'm just down low.
And he's giving the specific comms of where he's at, because you're going to hear footsteps and you're going to want to know exactly where they are. That guy might have downed and bled out and they had nothing to do with it. You can see Lucky's over there, but he's not really able to res him. And they're going to loot the body. And you can see that Lucky is very specific. Obviously, he's not involved in anything here, but he's giving the good comm, saying, hey, we're top 20, top 21. You see Barton got the snipe. Barton's a nasty sniper. See, he's saying he's in the shed. And here's the thing. He throws the nade. There was nothing there. He still feels like he's in there. He's there. So he's pretty confident. And they got to be careful of the snipe. So Repulse said, hey, you want to fly at him? Let's get them plated, and then they'll go for it.
I'm going with you. Let's go.
3, 2, 1, go.
Perfect team shot. And then there it is. Barton did get the snipe off, but there was nothing he can do from there. Obviously, he had the heartbeat, so he was assuming somebody was there. He felt the nade come through. He heard it. He saw it. It didn't do any damage to him. So it's one of those things. But they are sitting money. Here's a huge decision. He's debating if he should go to the buy station that's out of the zone because they're worried about getting top 15. And then you can see repulls. He's up there. They're like, oh, man, we only got one spot. So here's the debate. And it works pretty good both ways. If he goes in the Bertha, he likely rotates for free, goes to the buy, good. Right now with the buy out of the zone, you have the risk of it despawning. So by the time you get top 15, then you have issues. So he's dropping 2K. They're already thinking ahead so that in case repulls needs to hit another buy, even though there's not really one in the area, he could at least have the money to buy them both back. So he's waiting for one team to die out here. And they're kind of running out of time because the gas is going to start moving. But fortunately enough, because they went through that gold door, they ended up, or that red door, they ended up getting a gold gas mask. And these are all like micro decisions. Like in hindsight, they might have decided, ah, man, we should have gone quicker, or we should have, you know, maybe the decision we made was perfect. And there's different decisions like that. So he's making the aggressive push. You can see somebody got bought in the distance. There's a lot of fighting and action going on at ATC. He's making this play, and almost no one can do anything about it unless maybe he gets Strelad. You can see he's going deep into the gas. And one thing I will point out is after he goes to the buy, you're going to see how quickly this buy disappears. So if he waited any longer, it could have been really bad, and they wouldn't have been able to buy him back. And so let's look at this buy station. I'm pretty sure there it disappeared. You can see it disappeared on the screen. So if they waited any longer, he would have missed out by like 20 seconds. So about as close as he could have taken it without not being able to res him. But obviously Lucky's going to be able to land, maybe get his loot, get involved there, and kind of go from there. So okay, he's fighting. There, he's going to be able to beam him here, get some damage there. This is third party.
I don't know who got him. Somebody got him. Fuck, dude, they're getting... Stop making noise. Just stop making noise because we're going to get held out.
So you hear that? See, he's like, oh, we probably need to stop making noise. They are top 15. So really the only next bonus is first place. That's one of the huge problems I saw with this format. It didn't reward top 10, top 5. Basically top 15 and then first place. That was the difference. So pretty much in this zone, like there's a lot of kills are worth essentially the most unless you got first. But you just play your life. So you can see they've already rotated. In this particular case, the house is next to them, right next to them, right in front of them. That is Biffle and Swag are in that building. We didn't know that in the moment, but now obviously we did because it's already happened. But very, very crazy how they end up having to take this gunfight. And this is where it's like decisions. If they would have maybe left them alone, they could have shot them in transition. We'll kind of see it is. They're just peeking the different windows.
Don't break open doors. Nice, good fuck. It's cloak.
Okay, so he got Cloaksy. You can see Lucky Chamu. He might have gotten the sniper that Barton had. Look at that, beaming. You peek the window for a second, you are getting beamed.
29 meters.
Okay, so it's 29 meters. He says there's only one, so one of them has ghost, or they might be at like the 60, 51 meters where they're right outside the heartbeat zone. Using the little bit of the glass is an advantage because it's sometimes hard to see through.
That house.
And this is where you can get debated because if people are running ghost, you play the situation as if there's one, and then there ends up being two. So he got Cloaksy again. He bled out. He couldn't get res. So that comes up huge again. So you can see the call outs. Let's go aggressive. Let's make the decision. We're all going for it. He naded the top. You can hear the footsteps on the left. Comes out. They take him out. He ends up getting taken down. He ends up giving the call. Hey, Swag's upstairs. He's heart beating. It's right above. He ends up getting the nade. He has the plate. He gives it to the team. Hey, wait. Let me get some plates in. All right, cool. Let's get it. And it's very hard. He broke the plates. They're pushing. Swag tried to run away. Even if he jumps out the window, bad thing going on there, but he still has 14. They're in a top 3 scenario with 6 other players left. That means each of the 2 teams are fully like 2 together, 2v3v3. Lucky Chamu coming in with the comms, which is critical in a moment like this, because a lot of times you don't realize the situation, the numbers, and him being dead gets a situation where he can sit back and really not be useless in the moment. That's what you see a lot of times when people are dead. They're focused on their own thing instead of actually doing stuff. Utilizing the golden gas mask to try and make a play here, to try and rotate and get into this building, which is a very good play. Looks like Repulse has gas mask as well. They got hit as they came across. This, I think the comp maybe could have been better. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like they're right in the zone, and the people were able to jump across or something. You can see they ran across.
Keep running the zone. He's running out the outside right now.
I'm looking at left side. I'm looking out on left.
You can hear one on the left.
Right now. And they come on my stairs.
And I don't know how these people are fighting. One might have went far right, and one's going left. I'm not sure exactly what was going on their side, but it looks like the other team just died in rotation. So it's a 2v3. So that was Iceman Isaac. He takes him out. And then he also gets a down here. You can see he ends up downing OP Mark. So now it is a 2v1. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any plates for the situation. I mean, he doesn't have any health for the situation. He thinks he's on the left. He peeks the left. And then it ends up going across. He didn't think he'd have a line of sight. About as good as he could have done in this scenario. Ends up with 16 kills, which is incredible. So here's a look at the lobby. This is the actual players in the lobby if we actually sort it by KD. Plenty of 6 KD. This is the entire lobby. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I will point out that this is almost double the rest of the lobby. This is the second place, which was Biffle in that house. Biffle often goes on to get more kills. OP Marked had 8, Scummin with 7. So he had as much as Scummin, Cloaksy combined, even Barton. You know, I mean, like all of these players are putting up kills in a very competitive format, and he's putting up the most damage. So definitely an impressive player. Go check him out for yourself. Link near the top of the description. Also, if you'd like to see a few of the other matches that happened that were pretty crazy, let me know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, learned something new, please do me a favor, hit the like button. If you're brand new, want to find your way back, double check, make sure you are subscribed with notifications on. Appreciate your support. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.